Hello and welcome to this information session for Lifevantage Canada. My name is Lisa Sauer. I'm a Pro 6 with a company based on the Sunshine Coast of Australia. My story is pretty simple. My sister brought this information to me. Being a registered nurse, she thought I was absolutely going to flip for the information she was bringing me. Only my first question was, what is it? What does it do? She said it reduces oxidative stress in the body. And the fact of the matter is I did not know what oxidative stress was. And I thought to myself, if oxidative stress was such a big deal, then I would have heard about it throughout my degree. And so therefore I didn't have the same respect for that information as what I probably should have. Long story short, over the process of 6 months, she sent me links to research papers every now and again. She'd send me links to doctors talking about why they joined the business and why they were excited. And I was super busy, but it got to a Christmas period where I had just a moment to be able to take some time to look at the information. I looked at that information, and the very first thing I had to do was find out what oxidative stress is. Once I realized what it is and that it's linked to everything that you don't want, and that the world we're living in means we're exposed to higher levels than ever before, I got really excited. I delved into every aspect of the science. I listened to every health professional who was part of the business, and I just got to the point where I was so excited with what we found that I called her and said, okay, I have no idea what this business model is, but I'm in. This product is amazing and I will be sharing it with everybody. And that is what tonight's information session really is about. But before I get into sharing with you what oxidative stress is, I just wanted to have a quick mention of who the company is. So the company is Lifevantage, publicly traded on the NASDAQ with a ticker symbol LFVN. Lifevantage was founded in 2003 and began as a small biotech company, so just a group of small scientists. They were researching in an area of what we call nutrigenomics, and their research that they uncovered from, the information they uncovered through the nutrigenomic research led to a concept we call biohacking. So this is what really differentiates Lifevantage and our products from everyone else on the market. So what exactly is nutrigenomics? Well, nutrigenomics is a study of how nutrition and naturally occurring compounds can be used to benefit our genes. And Fox News has gone so far as to say nutrigenomics is changing everything. Where we once thought we were powerless is now an area over which we have at least some control. The ability to use nutrition to affect our genes means we're no longer at the mercy of our DNA. So what exactly then is biohacking? Well, biohacking is taking the information and the knowledge gained through nutrigenomic research and applying it in a specific way to optimize health and wellness in the body. Biohacking benefits everybody, from athletes who are looking for peak performance to mathletes wanting to optimize brain power, weekend warriors wanting to reduce their stress. In fact, everyone who wants to look and feel their best can benefit from biohacking. So the difference between biohacking and being hijacked, it all comes down to control and choice. Each and every single day, our bodies are being hijacked, like 24/7, by our external environment, by the things we're choosing to consume and put on our bodies. Our bodies are being affected by every single aspect of that. Biohacking is taking control of our own biology, being aware of the things that can damage us on a cellular level, and doing things to be proactive with our health. So when it comes to biohacking and the strategies involved in that, understanding oxidative stress is the first and most important thing we can do. If the only thing you get out of tonight's webinar or presentation is understanding what is oxidative stress, why high levels are bad, why we can't avoid it, and what we need to do to protect ourselves against it, if you understand just that, then that has been an immense benefit to you, because it's a hugely important topic. So oxidative stress is also known as cellular damage or free radical damage. Those three terms are interchangeable. When it comes to oxidative stress, people forget that our bodies are made up of trillions and trillions and trillions of cells. We aren't just heads and hands and legs and trunks. We are cardiac cells, we are brain cells, we are skin cells. Our bodies are, at the most basic level, cells. So it's really important for us to have healthy functioning cells. Now, a normal body cell will look like the one on the bottom left of the screen. It's symmetrical, it's round, it looks good, it's vibrant, it's a healthy functioning cell. Most people are familiar with having free radicals and antioxidants in the body. We know the free radicals as the bad guys, the antioxidants as the good guys. When we have too many of the bad guys, we have cells of our body being attacked by that excess, and that can lead to a cell with what we call oxidative stress or cellular damage, because too many free radicals will physically damage our cells. To give you a bit more of a visualization, it's like having an apple or a tomato left out on the bench. Over time, oxygen can oxidize that fruit or vegetable and lead to decay and a breakdown of the cellular integrity of the fruit. So you can see the tomato on the top line has been degraded over time through that oxidization process. Similarly, for the men folk who are listening in, if you were to leave a piece of metal out in the environment, exposed to air and water and all of those elements, you're going to see that metal will rust and corrode over time. Well, so the same or similar things happen to the cells of our body with oxidization. So really, when it comes to life, everything is all about balance. And we want a balance between the free radicals, which are the bad guys, and the antioxidants, which are the good guys. Now, to give you an analogy, if you were to imagine our body as like a car engine. So when we turn on the key or we press the button and turn on the engine and the engine begins to work, a byproduct of the engine working is a car exhaust. Now, we don't allow that car exhaust to build up in the engine or in the cab of the vehicle, because if we did, it will have harmful effects and potentially could even lead to life-threatening effects. And so we have what we call a car exhaust system, which shunts away the byproduct of the engine working. So it shunts away the exhaust and keeps the occupant safe. The same thing works in our body. So when we eat, breathe, or drink, we produce free radicals, and our body has what we call an antioxidant defense system that works similar to the car exhaust. So where we produce free radicals, we have an antioxidant defense system which is able to neutralize those free radicals and protect the cell integrity of our body. So it's all about the balance between the free radicals and the antioxidants. But here's the thing. 40, 50 years ago, that balance was really kind of easier to maintain, because we can't avoid free radicals. If we breathe air, we eat food or drink water, we produce it. That's the byproduct of our metabolism and our body operating. However, just about everything that we do can lead to oxidization and potentially more damaging free radicals. So the world we're living in today is grossly different to the world that our parents and grandparents lived in 40, 50 years ago. Think about the foods that we're consuming. We have fast foods and pre-processed and packaged foods which have artificial colors, flavors, preservatives. Fast foods are an amazing combination of oils and sugars which increase our free radical exposure. You've got herbicides, pesticides, and fungicides which come from the crops that are grown, potentially GMO ingredients, which are another concern. We also live in an environment where too much or too little exercise can lead to excess free radicals. Too much or too little physical and emotional stress can lead to excess free radicals. Our environment and the car exhaust that we were talking about earlier, look at the number of cars that are on the road. So even when you go for a walk to get that exercise, what are you breathing in? What is the quality of the air that you're breathing in? Our skin, being the largest organ of the body, means that we absorb a lot of what goes onto our skin. And so think about, on a daily basis, we're using deodorants, we've got makeup, we've got skincare, we've got hair care, we've got moisturizers, we have sunscreens and insect repellents. I mean, you name it, everything that we are putting onto our skin, we're absorbing, which can increase our exposure to free radicals. But by far and large, one thing that concerns me personally the most is our exposure to what we call EMF frequencies, or electromagnetic frequencies. Now, most households have Wi-Fi technology. In fact, not only most households, but businesses, restaurants, movies, shopping centers, you name it, there is Wi-Fi in all of it. Classrooms for our kids, And then, of course, on top of that, you've got our own individual devices. Now, most people have a minimum of one device, if not more, personally being carried on or around them on a daily basis. So you've got iPads, you've got computers, you've got phones, you name it. Now, the exposure rate to electromagnetic frequencies has a direct correlation to oxidative stress in the body. That is research that's been conducted completely separate to our company, completely separate to what we do. So you can go to pubmed.gov and you can put in high EMF exposure and oxidative stress, and you're going to see a correlation between the two of those things. Completely, as I said, third-party validated research. Now, that is all based on 4G technology. But we are currently in a situation where they're about to roll out 5G. And if you haven't done any research on 5G, I strongly recommend that you do, because honestly, it's quite concerning. We're taking that EMF exposure to the next level. Okay, so we know that oxidative stress is cellular damage. And we're now starting to understand that the world we're living in means we're exposed to higher levels of oxidative stress than ever before. So why is that such a concern? Well, high levels of oxidative stress are linked with everything you don't want. In fact, every single body system is affected or can be affected by high levels of oxidative stress. And I have people who say to me, okay, well, how do we know if we're affected by higher levels of oxidative stress? And there are some general signs that may indicate that you are one of those people. For example, lacking energy or feeling tired all the time can be a sign that you've got high levels of oxidative stress. Poor quality or disrupted sleep can also be a sign. Brain fog or a lack of mental clarity, again, can be another sign. And mood disturbance and or anxiety can also be an additional sign that you are struggling with higher levels of oxidative stress. So we know that we've got oxidative stress. We know that we're exposed to higher levels than before, and we know that high levels of it are linked with more than 260 different disease issues within the body. Now, you can go to pubmed.gov, which is the National Institute of Health database for research, and you can look up oxidative stress and any kind of condition or issue, and you can look for yourself to see how much research has been conducted that links the two of those. Of course, high levels of oxidative stress is linked with everything we don't want. And just as a reminder, our cells renew and rejuvenate in our body on a regular basis. So it's ideal for us to have cells that are looking really healthy, functional, and strong, like the cell on the left in that first slide earlier. So how much oxidative stress do we have? Well, it's going to vary for every single individual on the planet because it's going to depend on a number of factors, but we can approximate some of these numbers. So every human has around about 37.2 trillion cells in the body, with potentially millions of free radicals in every cell. So at any given moment, we can hypothesize that we could have up to 3.72 quintillion free radicals in the body. Now, just to give you some kind of idea, remember we said about the antioxidants being the good guys and the free radicals being the bad guys, and that it's all about balance. Well, we know that antioxidants will neutralize a free radical, right? But they do so like one antioxidant neutralizes one free radical. So if we're talking about a tub of blueberries, for example, there's like around about 6,700 antioxidants in that tub. Trying to effectively neutralize 3.72 quintillion free radicals with blueberries alone, you can see the math just doesn't add up. That's a truckload of blueberries and you haven't even effectively made a dent in it. So the question posed is, can we reduce oxidative stress with food alone? And the answer is unequivocally no. Direct antioxidants alone are not enough. Now, we know that having a really nutritious, well-balanced diet is essential for health, and everybody should be eating nutrient-rich antioxidant foods on a daily basis. But if you are trying to make a difference in the in the free radicals that we are exposed to, that any food that you consume, any antioxidant supplement that you can consume, anything that is consumable is what we consider a direct antioxidant, and it neutralizes 1-to-1. That's the ratio. But our bodies, remember the car exhaust analogy I was talking about earlier? our bodies and our antioxidant defense system means that we make in our own bodies antioxidant enzymes, which are infinitely more powerful when it comes to reducing or neutralizing free radicals in the body. So we can look at an antioxidant enzyme and it will neutralize roughly around 1 million free radicals. That is a huge, huge, huge difference between food and our own antioxidant enzymes. So if we know what oxidative stress is, if we know that we can't avoid it, in fact, the world we're living in means we're exposed to higher levels, well, what can we do about it? Well, we have found a way to naturally turn on our body's ability to be able to produce more antioxidant enzymes. So NRF2 is a pathway in the body which acts like a switch. We can turn that switch on and tell our bodies to make more of those good antioxidant enzymes. So please let me be clear. What we're talking about is not supplementation. Supplementation is when you believe you have a deficit in the body and you choose to take a product to supplement that deficit, to bring those levels back into a normal level. But what we're talking about here is activation, being able to actually turn on our body's ability to produce our own antioxidants. It is proven in a research paper to reduce oxidative stress by an average of 40% in 30 days. That is a huge reduction in oxidative stress. And the National Institute of Aging has conducted a 10-year research project. Now, the reason and the intention for that research was to determine if there was anything that was possibly able to not only extend lifespan, but improve quality. Because there is 0 point in extending lifespan if you cannot improve quality. They compared high-dose pharmaceuticals and high-dose natural ingredients, and they also compared our Protandim NRF2 Synergizer. Interestingly, at the end of that research, they found that only Protandim was the only natural product proven to extend lifespan and quality by 7% in male mice. It was an amazing conclusion to come to, and that was third-party validated research. So of course we have BSCG certification, which is a really big deal, because the BSCG are the organization that allow or indicate which supplements can be used by Olympic athletes. And of course, we have certification on that. We are comprised of 5 natural plant ingredients: the ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, milk thistle, and turmeric. Most people are familiar with green tea and turmeric being absolutely amazing. And in that NIA study that I mentioned, high doses of green tea and turmeric on their own were also compared. And interestingly enough, those were not enough to cause any kind of influence in that long span study. So I've had people who say to me, that's great, I can see that that's powerful, but I already take 3 of the ingredients. I'm just going to buy the extra 2 and create my own concoction. And it's really important for you to understand that it's not just the fact that you're taking those ingredients, it's the synergy of that blend, which is so much more effective. And synergy doesn't just come down to the combination of ingredients, it's the specific quantities of those ingredients which makes it so efficacious. So to give you an idea, every single ingredient in Protandim will activate what we call the NRF2 pathway, or turn on that switch in the body. But if we were to graph it, then they would look like this graph in front of you. It's the synergy of the blend of that specific combination in those specific quantities which make us 18 times more effective at activating that pathway. And that's where the power of the product kicks in. Now, interestingly, you cannot get a patent on a natural ingredient unless you have a blend that is so unique, that does something that nothing else can do, and you can prove it. That's the only way you can get a patent on a product that's a natural blend of ingredients. And we have 14 US and international patents on the product. So we overwhelmingly can prove that we have something truly special in our hands with this blend. So I mentioned earlier those research papers that my sister was sending to me. Well, they weren't just from any database. They weren't just from any organization. They were from PubMed.gov. Now, I was familiar already with PubMed.gov because I did use it throughout my degree in terms of a validated and credible source of information. Now, it doesn't matter what a company pays to conduct research. In order to have that research published on PubMed.gov, it must pass a peer-reviewed research process, which means that multiple anonymous reviewers have to look at the research and conclude that everything has been conducted in the way that it should and the conclusions are fair and just, and that's how it ends up published on this database. And so when I was doing my initial research into oxidative stress 5 years ago, I typed in oxidative stress into PubMed.gov and got around about 78,000 research articles came up, which was huge because when you understand that, you can surmise that the average cost of research is around $50,000 a paper. So some will be cheaper and some will be far more expensive than that. So as an average starting point, if you multiply 78,000 by 50K per paper, that's a lot of money being spent in the area of researching oxidative stress. And why would that be? Because we know high levels of oxidative stress are linked with everything people don't want, but no one had known how they could reduce oxidative stress. And so if you fast forward to today, and you type in oxidative stress into that search bar, you're going to find there's over 217,000 research papers that have been conducted. Now, that's an increase in just 5 years of over 139,000 research papers. At the average cost of $50,000 per paper, that's a lot of money being spent, a lot of laser focus and attention on oxidative stress in the body. Absolutely massive. Now you can go to PubMed.gov and you can actually type in Protandim and find 24 peer-reviewed studies on the blend. That's almost unheard of for what we call an activator in this industry. Now, we've been studied by multiple large-scale research facilities and institutions, and you can see some of the brands that have been, or some of those featured on the screen in front of you. But if you're like me, I was thinking, well, okay, I get this is amazing. I get the science is absolutely freaking brilliant, but pharmaceutical companies are never far behind. So, if this was really spot on, surely they'd be wanting a piece of the action. Well, they do. You see, Biogen IDEC already has a number of products out there that are available on the market, which because they couldn't buy the patent from the company, so they couldn't find a way to do it naturally. They found a way to create their own synthetic nerve-2 activator. And those products are actively available at this moment for prescription for multiple different conditions within the body. Now, the thing is, there are synthetic versions, so they do have a list of adverse effects that the natural product does not necessarily carry, which is a huge point of difference. We've also featured in the American Heart Association's journal Circulation, and that was a really big deal because most of the time Circulation doesn't feature even natural ingredients, let alone a blend on a product. From that that article being featured in there, we caught the attention of some cardiologists who looked further into reducing oxidative stress and the product and the company, and have subsequently joined the business from there. It's a really, really powerful experience. I also wanted to mention, because this just lights me up, Erin Brockovich has spent her life building a reputation for fighting for what's fair, for digging deep and finding the truth. She's pitted herself up against massive corporations because of her strong belief that everybody deserves a voice and everybody deserves to be able to live with optimal health and wellness. And so, of course, to have Erin Brockovich join our board of directors is absolutely amazing. Not only is she the first female to do so, but she has done her research, and she's been put at our recent company event. She said, this is a company I have admired at arm's length for some time. It's a company with strong momentum, not just in the US, but globally. In today's world, actively managing our health has never been so vital. With Erin's reputation, it just fills me with so much joy to have her join our board of directors, because she did so with thoroughly researching the company, and she's excited. That's massive. And I love, love, love this slide because it's really important for people to understand that humans are not the only mammals that experience oxidative stress. Dogs, horses, and all other mammals do as well. Now, the beautiful thing about animals is that they have no concept of placebo effect, right? So when they get that little yellow pill that's been hidden in a bit of sausage that they consume in one bite, they don't even know that they've had it. So they don't know that there's supposed to be any kind of benefit involved. They just know that they felt one way, and a couple of weeks later they feel another way. And so there are some truly beautiful animal experiences on YouTube that you can definitely be checking out, and I thoroughly recommend that you do so. It's absolutely amazing. So you can see that the discovery of the NRF2 pathway has led to the creation of not just an amazing NRF2 activated product, but also to other NRF2 activated products. So we have a skincare line, we have brain food through our Axio, and we have a hair care system, which all use the power of NRF2. So let's discuss the skin. I mean, it's the largest organ of the body. It literally keeps the good stuff in and the bad stuff out. So protecting our skin is essential. Now, not only does every single one of our skincare products have that NRF2 activation, so that's the outside in approach to activating NRF2, but just as important is what's not in it. You see, Lifevantage is all about biohacking, and part of that biohacking is knowing what to avoid exposure to. So we don't have the nasties in our products. We have good quality, clean products with NRF2 activation. It's massively beneficial. Before and afters are just not my thing, because I'm one of those skeptical brains that go, oh, the lighting's different, they've had the different angle. It's like, you know, that's just how I roll with before and afters. But I will tell you, I personally know the young fella in the top picture here on the left. That was a burn he got from a campfire after they had the campfire the night before. They were camping on an island. They had actually pushed the sand over the coals. But of course, for any of you who are familiar with campfires, it can take quite a long time for those coals to really all the heat to evaporate out of them. And of course, bright and early the very next morning, he's playing with his siblings on the beach. He gets tripped by one of them head first into the coals. And of course, a burn on the forehead like that has the potential to scar somebody for life. They use number 2 and number 4 in the skincare line multiple times a day, and you wouldn't know to this day that he even had that burn. So that was an amazing experience for him. The horse that's in the middle there has an ulcer. I'm not a huge, I don't have a huge knowledge base on horses, but from what I have been told, ulcers in horses do take a significant amount of time to heal. And this was, of course, a photo 1 month later. And so the owner of the horse was just absolutely so excited with what they were seeing. Of course, we've got wrinkles and acne and other types of experiences there. The gentleman with the hands, that wasn't just the skincare alone. He was using Pretendum NRF2, so the inside out approach, and of course the outside in approach to health. So strategy number 3 is unlocking your brain's potential with Axio Low Carb Smart Energy. Now, it's just amazing to me. We're all so desperate for that energy kick that some of the drinks that we're consuming are full of sugar and full of chemical compounds that are not good for the body in any way, shape or form. In fact, we have them and we might get that initial high, and then we have the traditional sugar crash afterwards. So Axio Low Carb is about unlocking your brain's potential. It's smart energy. So it's a zero sugar boost that includes vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients. It will help you get through your day. I absolutely love Axio. There's not a single person that I haven't come across who hasn't gone, oh my God, the boost I get from that is absolutely amazing. And you get that boost with the benefit of knowing it is good for you. It is like brain food. So strategy number 4 is using clean hair products. Now, you know, we talk about the body being the largest organ of the skin, and we're absorbing a significant amount of what goes onto it. And our scalp is absolutely no different. In fact, we use our hair care products. Some people use them every single day. And so we really want to be very, very careful about what we're putting on our hair. So not only does our True Science hair care line have nerve 2 activation in every single product that's in it, but it's also, again, like our skincare line, it is free of the nasties. So there is an app that you can purchase that you can download called Think Dirty. Now, Think Dirty is amazing. It will go through and allow you to either search or scan any and all of your personal care products, and it will give it a rating from 0 to 10. So 0 to 3 is in the green section, which is considered safe and okay to use. Anything above the 3 going into the 7 is in the yellow section and not such a great idea, but maybe intermittent use or infrequent use you might get away with. And anything above a 7 to a 10 is in the red, like, no, don't do it. So of course, we want to avoid products that are in the red because we know we're absorbing the toxins that come through from that. Our products are at score a 2, and the True Science skincare line that we were talking about earlier, they're a 0 to a 2 as well. So we've got super clean, amazing products. The hair serum, the scalp serum, so it's comprised of shampoo and conditioner, which you can purchase separately, which is brilliant because how many of us go through either the conditioner faster than the shampoo or the shampoo faster than the conditioner? It always happens that way. But the scalp serum is also something that you can purchase inside of the set. Now, the serum itself, we're seeing some amazing results come from that. There are 2 really brilliant ingredients called Apiscalp and Hair Janelle. If you are not familiar with those ingredients, I recommend that you go and do some research on them. They have their own unique and amazing benefits that can come from use. So in terms of strategy number 5, boosting our mitochondria, it's so interesting to me. I was talking about the nerve-1 pathway is the way that we can boost our mitochondrial health. And I was like, okay, I get it. The mitochondria are the energy, like the power packs of our cells. It's responsible for our energy levels. But did you know that some of the most toxic neurochemicals in the world and some of the most toxic venoms in the world work by shutting down the mitochondrial pathway? That's how big a deal the mitochondrial pathway is in the body. So they say to stay active and energetic, your body needs to stay in peak performance. And by protecting your cells, we can keep your body working the way it should. Pretendum Nerf 1 Synergizer is the new spark plug to your daily health deserves. And scientifically formulated to help protect your cells, designed to help you feel healthier from the inside out. Again, comprised of 5 natural plant ingredients and the synergy and power of those. So it's the alpha-lipoic acid, the coenzyme Q10, grape extract quercetin, and acetyl-L-carnitine. It's an absolutely brilliant way to give your body the 1-2 punch with the Protandim Nerf 2 and the Protandim Nerf 1. So we know that many metabolic, autoimmune, and cognitive issues actually start with gastrointestinal imbalances. And so strategy number 6 is to protect our gut health. So there are 5 signs which might indicate that your gut could do with a little TLC. Things like digestive issues, stomach gases, exploding gases, heartburn, brain fog, because your gut and your brain are connected. Your mood, the serotonin, your feel-good hormone, is made in our guts. Food cravings or weight issues can also be imbalances of gut. And poor sleep, so less serotonin equals less melatonin, which is our get good sleep hormone. So what makes our probiotic the best? If we know, and most of us do, that probiotics are essential for health, what makes ours the best? Well, first and foremost, we don't need refrigeration. Now, that is huge for anyone who is already consuming probiotics. You know, if you need to travel with them, there's always that stress about keeping them at the right temperature. Well, we don't need refrigeration. And the reason we don't need refrigeration is because of the technology that we have in the capsules. So our ProBio provides over 6 billion CFUs of healthy bacteria using time-release probiotics to support optimal digestion and immune system function. We have Wellmune and BioTrack technology, which allows us to be sure that the probiotics get into the small intestinal system, and that's where that release happens, and that's exactly where they need to be. So we are not trying to rely on high CFU units of good bacteria to get through the digestive system, because the pH and the acids that are in there is just too much for some of them. We know that that's going to get killed off. And so we have that technology, which means we know it's going to get delivered where it needs to get delivered. And this leads to supporting healthy immune system function and also supporting intestinal and gastrointestinal health. It's literally the smart way to take probiotics. So strategy number 7 is boosting your good oils to help support cognitive health and brain function. Our Omega Plus product goes one step above and beyond anything else that you have seen on the market. It contains DHA and EPA, omega-3 fatty acids, to support cognitive health and overall health. It contains vitamin D to support your immune health. And the best part is that our Omega Plus fish oils are 100% traceable from boat to bottle. One of the doctors I was talking to said that, one of the best ways to know how good a quality the fish oil you're consuming is if you can get the capsule and actually break it open in your mouth. If it tastes absolutely feral or rank, it's because it's rancid and it's not in its purest, most beneficial quality. But ours, you can break that capsule open and it's a pleasant lemon and lime flavor. We are super fresh and traceable from boat to bottle. So that is a massive, massive point of difference for our product. So strategy number 8, smart weight management. Weight management is essential these days, and we have a weight management system which combines a metabolic enhancer, a prebiotic, and whey protein powder. The metabolic enhancer helps wake up your body's metabolism to help manage weight. The prebiotic supports digestive health, and as we mentioned on a previous slide, weight issues can be a sign of gut imbalance, and whey protein helps curb your appetite. So that system works in synergy together to provide an optimal system for weight management. And strategy number 9, bundling up and saving money with a stack. We know health is important, and we know that if we can make it super easy for you to be able to do what you need to do to get the best out of your day, then that's the best way to go. So what we've done is combined a combination of stacks for you to choose what suits you best and your needs. Every single one of these stacks comes with free shipping, which is brilliant. So the Vitality Stack comes with the Protendum Nerf 2, Nerf 1, probiotic, and omegas. So you're combating your free radicals, you're maintaining good health, you're supporting your intestinal, gastrointestinal health, and supporting your cognitive health at the same time. Now that's a month's supply for $186.25 Canadian, like I said, with free shipping. Our Activated Essentials bundle comes with your Nerf 2, Nerf 1, and your probiotic. This is the most amazing basic stack pack that you can get. Wholesale $155 for a month's supply Canadian, delivered with free shipping. The Energy Stack is designed to help you get the most out of your day. So for anyone who really feels that their energy levels are in their boots, this is the stack you want to be looking at. It's the Protendum Nerf 2, your Axio, and your probiotic. Delivered to your door is $160 Canadian with free shipping. That's an amazing discount off of those products. Now, when it comes to overall optimal health, I am a huge advocate for people understanding that what constitutes good health comes from a variety of things that we can do and have control over in our lives. So we know that good nutrition is essential, exercise daily is essential, good quality sleep is essential. We know genetics plays a role. We know the environment factors into whether we have good health or not. And we know that our social and emotional states play a role as well. That's what we understand constitutes and makes up good health. Here's the reason that I got so freaking excited when I looked at the research, when I realized what oxidative stress is, and more importantly, I realized the connection between these aspects of health and oxidative stress. So let me run you through. If you have poor nutrition, you are going to end up with higher levels of oxidative stress. If you exercise too little or too much, you end up with higher levels of oxidative stress. If you get poor quality sleep, you end up with higher levels of oxidative stress. We know that certain genetic conditions, for example, autism, means that someone is already predisposed to higher levels of oxidative stress. And the environment we're exposed to, if we're exposed to a toxic environment, higher levels of oxidative stress. And our social and emotional exposure or susceptibility to extremes in that area will lead to higher levels of oxidative stress. So here are the elements that make up what somebody experiences as optimal health, and imbalances in any of those areas leads to higher levels of oxidative stress. We just happen to have a natural way of protecting the body against oxidative stress. I honestly see this as the solution to a problem most people don't realize they have yet. We have the future of health and wellness in our hands. It is so, so incredibly exciting. So if you've listened to this information and you're like, yes, I definitely want to be proactive with my health. I definitely want to be consuming products that are going to turn on and activate my body's ability to look after itself. And I want to use clean products in my energy drinks, in my skincare, and in my hair care. Then you want to be getting started as a customer. There are no fees to join, and monthly orders are at your choice at a reduced price. The best thing about this company is we don't try to trap people into auto ships. If you start an auto ship, you get the benefit of a reduced price, and it's as easy as calling customer service or just getting back to the person who introduced you to cease that auto ship within 24 hours. It is very quick and easy. We have no intention of trapping people anywhere. That would lead to excess emotional stress and more oxidative stress, and we're completely against all of that. So it's an absolutely brilliant system, a brilliant company, and a great way to get started with really proactive health products. But you see, if you were like me and you heard that information and you thought, oh my goodness, I already have so many people in my mind, I know who could benefit from this, I'm going to share this information with everybody, then I just want to introduce you very quickly to the business side of what this opportunity is. So Lifevantage, as we said, we're at the forefront of nutrigenomics. We are literally first to market with revolutionary new health technology, and this is your opportunity for success. So why network marketing? I really had to wrap my head around this because I got it. I saw the science was absolutely amazing. I saw that the product was not only valuable but necessary for the world we're living in. I knew I was going to share it with people, but I was scratching my head going, why is this in network marketing? And it comes down to knowing the company's history and where we got started. So I explained to you that in 2003, the company formed as a small group of biotech scientists. Well, by 2005, the scientific community had got word that there was a small group of scientists saying they could reduce oxidative stress. Now, bearing in mind, remember how much research has been put into oxidative stress and why? Because we know high levels are linked with everything that you don't want, but nobody had been able to reduce them. And so, of course, these scientists are like, this company that's claiming it can reduce oxidative stress. There is no way. We've never heard of anything that can do that. ABC Primetime, which is like our Current Affair or 60 Minutes, got wind of this, and they were like, right, well, we're going to come and do an expose, because that's what they do, right? They typically try to disprove products or services because it creates controversy, and controversy is amazing viewership for them. So it gets their ratings up. So the ABC contacted the company and said, we're going to come and do a report on you guys. And what they did was they came to the company and they said, right, well, we're going to get our presenter to take a blood sample first, and we're going to get him to take your product for 2 weeks, and then we'll get his blood tested live on national TV. And their plan was to be able to only use 2 weeks. You see, our research indicates a reduction of 40% in 30 days. But they were only going to give us 2 weeks because they were hoping that they could say, well, this is what the company claims, but this is what we found. Now, for anyone who has seen the ABC report out there, you'll know that it was an overwhelmingly positive report, that far beyond disproving our product or service, the reporter's blood reduction of oxidative stress was 45% in just 2 weeks. So, of course, at that point, we got a lot of attention, and millions of dollars worth of orders were flooding into the ABC, the TV company. But it was a small group of biotech scientists. They didn't have stock. They didn't have infrastructure. Heck, they didn't even have someone to answer the phone. So there was no way that they could fulfill these orders. They immediately put into place systems to get the infrastructure built and ways to be able to build that stock level, but it was too late. Months and months and months had passed by this stage. So of course, they then, once they got the stock set, they then tried online or retail stores. But you see, it took me a considerable amount of time to explain to you what oxidative stress is, why high levels are bad, and why we can't avoid it, and why protection is essential. You just can't get that onto a label. And so it sat in like GNC Chemist Warehouse stores between vitamin C and fish oil, and no one was telling the story. No one understood that it was an activator, not a supplement. No one understood that it protected against oxidative stress, because what the heck was oxidative stress anyway? So in 2009, after putting all this effort into building the infrastructure and getting the stock, the company was selling roughly half a bottle per store per month. It was like they were seriously looking like they were going to go bankrupt. And in 2009, they called a marketing expert and said, what do we do? And he's like, he looked at all this information and he goes, you have got a positive ABC primetime report. That's like, no one gets that. He's like, this is a product that has a story and it needs to be shared person to person. He's like, you have to actually get it out there. And they said, well, what do you suggest? And he's like, I saw direct sales or network marketing. And I was like, oh, no. You see, the scientists had worked their life to be able to find this product. This was a big deal and they knew it, and they didn't want to put it into the hands of network marketing. But they really didn't have a choice. So they refused to take it out of the GNC and retail stores. But what they did do is they accepted a trial period of putting it part into the direct sales and leaving it in the stores. Well, it was a no-brainer. At the end of that trial period, it outsold retail 300%. Once people understood the story behind the product, and that once they understood what it would do for them, they were 100% on board with taking and consuming it. And so unlike most other network marketing companies out there, we were a product before it got put into the network marketing model. And that's a huge point of difference. Protandim is a real product with a story that needs to be shared person to person. And once I understood that, it was like a light bulb going on. I got it, I understood it, and then I got really, really excited, because that now gives everybody, the likes of you and me, the opportunity to be able to A, share some really valuable information with other people, but B, also build ourselves a successful second income through doing so. So what is network marketing? Well, network marketing is a transfer of information from one person to another. And through this process, a distribution network is built, which you get paid for. You see, as I share information with you, you're going to fall into one of three categories. You're going to say either, wow, that's amazing, I definitely want to be a customer. Or you're going to say, yeah, wow, not only do I want to be a customer, but I know so many people who could benefit from this. I definitely want to join the team. Or you're going to say, that's great, I totally don't get it, or I need more information, or, it's just not for me. And no matter which one you fall into, that's perfectly okay, because the only role we have as network marketers is to transfer information and make sure that we've transferred enough information for someone to make an informed decision. When this business is done well, it's respectful, it's authentic, and when it's done well, it's built on a foundation of helping others. That's what drives every reason to share. It's what drives every action in this business. Just to give you an idea of how big network marketing is, it is $189 global business. Sorry, billion dollar. Oh my goodness, couldn't spit that out. It's so funny. So it's $189 billion global business. It's huge. It's actually more than the sporting and entertainment industries combined. The world is changing. So the way we earn income needs to change. We need to adapt and grow or be left behind. You see, there is no security in traditional employment anymore. It used to be that you would have a job and you could potentially, unless you chose otherwise, you would potentially have that job well into the future, maybe even into retirement. And that just doesn't happen anymore because technology is advancing. And there are a lot of different jobs that were always considered safe and long-term that are now no longer even in place. How many call centers are offshored? How many checkout operators have been displaced by technology? I have had multiple really successful financial people who have, like, I've listened to them online, I've read them in books, you know, and they've all said, never depend on a single income source. Make an investment of your time and effort to create a second source of income. It's like digging the well before you're dry. So here's the thing that really, really excited me about the industry of network marketing. I had never encountered anything even remotely like it before. You see, we're taught to go to school, get good grades, either get a trade straight away or go to university. Either way, the end result is getting a job. Getting a job means that you work an hour and get paid in dollars. If you want to earn more money, you need to work more hours or find a way to increase your value to get paid more per hour. If you're getting paid an amazing amount of money but you want more time, you're usually sacrificing dollars in order to be able to do it. So the traditional linear lifeline looks like this: 20 years to learn, 40 to 50 years to earn in the hopes that you can buy a house and pay it off sometime before you retire, with this tiny little blob at the end of this questionable how many years you've got to actually live life. And most people can't afford to retire. You have no idea how many 65-year-olds plus I've seen driving Ubers or working at your local grocery store as welcome attendants. It's insane that these people at a time in their life where they deserve to take it easy and chill out are still having to work for income. It's horrifying. Whereas with leveraged income, it's a completely different ballgame. I'm still being paid today on work I did 5 years ago. And it's like you get to like learn, but then you earn and as you learn and you build an asset that can pay you repeatedly month on month on month. It's a really revolutionary, different way to come about earning income. So we know the industry of network marketing works, but not all opportunities are created equal. If you're going to invest your precious time to build a plan B, it's essential you know how to identify a good business opportunity. So there are 4 keys for good business success that I like to look at. One is the product. Now, we already talked a significant amount about the products that are available through Lifevantage, but let me just clarify a few really important points for you. Products should be unique with little to no competition. We don't have other people out there with NRF2 activators. We are at the forefront of nutrigenomics research with products that are the future of health and wellness. The products are absolutely amazing. They need to be consumable month on month. You see, I've got a number of companies and I love buying products from friends who are in network marketing companies because I know that those products are supporting them and their families. And there's usually some really amazing high quality products sold through those avenues. But you see, there's one company in particular that I love. They've got clean cleaning products, but I use 1 tub per year. Now, if I was trying to build a business based on my consumption in that business, it would be really hard. I would be finding so many people to buy 1 tub per year. With our products, they're 30-day consumable. They're monthly consumable. So people are consuming them month on month on month on month on month. And we have an amazing customer retention rate because our products work. They do what they say they'll do. People feel amazing on them. And so it's an amazing, amazing combination to have. They're affordable. There are other companies who have products that are brilliant in a completely different way, but they're not affordable. So if the budget gets tight, the first thing that goes is those products. Our products are affordable. People can afford to continue consuming them, especially when they get that amazing benefit that comes from doing so, and they're valuable. So that really does cover the product side of things. When it comes to timing, income, and mentoring, I'm going to discuss a little more on those in the following slides, but let's just give you a recap on the most important points. When it comes to timing, timing is everything in business. And if you can catch that 80% growth that happens in momentum, that's what we consider a once in a lifetime opportunity. Look, for example, at companies like Microsoft and Facebook. Imagine catching that 80% growth or momentum in those businesses. And it comes to income. You want income to be distributed not just at the top ranks of the company, but at the beginning and middle stages as well. And that's exactly what the leadership in Lifevantage have done. And I can show and prove that to you on our income disclosure statement, because we're publicly traded, so there's full transparency in those documents. And mentoring, it's absolutely essential that you are mentored in a way and given access to proven systems for training, proven systems for support, tools that you can use to share in this business, and access to leaders who know how to build the business and know how to help you do the exact same thing. So when it comes to timing, the Direct Selling Sales Association have researched hundreds and thousands of direct sale companies. They know unequivocally that if you are within the first 150,000 distributors to join a network marketing opportunity with predictable success, that you're participating in a once in a lifetime opportunity. That's a massive statement. Now that's 150,000 distributors per market. Lifevantage is available in multiple companies across the world. And currently, worldwide, we have approximately 80,000 active distributors. And so your timing in Canada is absolutely huge. It's monumental. If you are in any way, shape, or form entrepreneurial, if you've seen this information and it is resonating with you, you want to be getting in sooner rather than later, because getting in sooner gives you the opportunity to build your team through that sharing process and capitalize on the 80% growth that happens in what we call momentum. So if you have a look at the chart in front of you, you'll see that lovely S curve, that's the traditional growth curve for most businesses. You start down the bottom with the early adopters and the innovators, and then you start to get to your early majority, and that's where you're starting to really kick into your momentum in that growth period. You get your late majority coming on, and by the time you get to that little purple arrowhead, you're really getting into stabilization. That's where the laggards usually join. That's where the people who say to you, oh, network marketing, that doesn't work. Well, if you really started to really get into it, potentially they've joined a company that's already in stabilization. And of course, you're not capitalizing on that massive growth. It's like the people who have heard about it. They've missed the first wave, they've missed the second wave, they've missed the third wave. And by the time they actually get to the stabilization, they're like, oh, I'm ready to do something now. But they've missed that massive growth, the massive opportunity that comes from getting in early. When it comes to our income, as I said, it's so important to be part of a business and an opportunity where the leadership strategically position money not just at the top, but also in the beginning and middle stages. You see, what benefit, what incentive do you have to continue building a business if you can't make money off of it in the beginning and middle stages as well? This is our income disclosure statement. We are publicly traded, so there is full transparency in this document. And you'll see that you can start from a rank of distributor and work up from Pro 1 all the way through to Executive Master Pro 10. Now, if you have a look at the third column across, you're going to see a monthly average for each of these ranks. Well, the really exciting thing is to get to Pro 2 and Pro 3 is really, if you're working and you're coachable and you're doing the sharing activities that you need, it's actually not that difficult. And yet, look at the monthly average for a Pro 3, $580 monthly average. That might be the difference between a roof over a head or a holiday for some families. That's a big amount of money for some families, especially if as a wife staying at home with the children and the husband's out working. That extra $500 a month can be enough to really make a difference for them. But then you go up and elevate through the ranks. You're looking at the Pro 6 level of $5,858 monthly. Now, have a look at the Pro 6 and then have a look at the Pro 7 monthly average. You go from 5,858 monthly average to 11,292 monthly average. Now, the reason there is such a big jump between those two ranks is for this. I'll show you in this next slide. If you have a look down the bottom right-hand side, you're going to see 4% global revenue sharing and that pie chart that comes there. When you hit the rank of Pro 7 in Lifevantage, you are no longer just receiving commissions paid on the volume generated throughout your business and your business alone. At the rank of Pro 7, you also receive a percentage share of 1% of global sales. That's really big. And as you can see from the previous page, that equates to quite a considerable amount of money in between the Pro 6 and the Pro 7 ranks. And that continues on. So at Pro 8, you receive an additional share of global sales. At Pro 9, you receive an additional share of global sales. That leads to super big money. And at this point in the compensation plan, you are now getting paid on the efforts of everybody globally. Such a huge point of difference for our company compared to some other companies that are out there. There are 8 different ways that we can get paid, and I'm not going to go into every single one of them. But we have smart start bonuses that are paid when we have customers and team members that join the business. We have launch bonuses, and we have royalty commissions, as we talked about with those monthly checks. We have generational matching bonuses and the elite pools that we get as well. So the whole business of network marketing, as we go through that process of sharing information, and people either decide to become consumers, in which case you're building a network of consumers, or they decide to become distributors, in which case you're building a network of distributors. And as you build your network of distributors, they're building a network of distributors. And then I have someone say to me, well, isn't that a pyramid scheme? And I go, well, no, pyramid schemes are illegal for starters. So I certainly don't believe a company publicly traded on the NASDAQ counts in that section. But they're illegal for a very good reason, because they generally involve just money only. Where people get in is where they stay stuck. No one can elevate past them or earn more money, or no one can, that is a traditional pyramid scheme, and they're bloody illegal for a reason. What we have is a hugely valuable product that benefits the lives of so many people. And as we build our teams, I can have team members who could be up to 10 levels deeper than me. And if they're putting in the work and they've got amazing connections, they can rank advance past me and out earn me at any given time. And that's exactly how it should be. You should be compensated for the work that you put in. And that's what happens inside this business and inside this industry. So then we come to the mentoring and technology, and it is super important that we have training and systems in place that allow us to easily share the information that we've got, and also systems where we're able to personally grow. Technology has changed everything when it comes to this business. So we used to say this was a laptop lifestyle, and now we know that it's actually a smartphone lifestyle, because we can run our whole businesses based on our smartphones. And it's also important to have access to leadership, people who know what you want to do and are willing to help you achieve those same things. I love this slide so much, because you say, as I said, we're publicly traded on the NASDAQ. So we can see who the top 10 owners of Lifevantage Corporation are. Now, for anyone who is familiar with share investing, Renaissance Technologies and BlackRock Fund Advisors are heavyweights, or considered heavyweights in the share investment industry. They know what they're talking about. They've been able to solidly and consistently produce results for their shareholders. And they are within our top 10 owners of Lifevantage Corporations. So these guys do their research. They know what they're talking about. Super excited to have them as part of our top 10 stockholders. So let me ask you a question. If you had the chance to go back in time and be first to invest in Apple, Google, Microsoft, or Facebook, would you? Think about it. If you wouldn't have gone back, then you kind of wasted your time looking at this information, because what you're looking at right here, this is revolutionary new health technology. This is something that people don't necessarily know about and understand right now, but within the next 5 years, people will know about NRF2 activation. They will know about the necessary, the need to actually protect the body against oxidative stress. So let me show you how you could fast start with a pack. So if you have just heard this information, you know you want to consume the products anyway, you can think of so many people who could benefit from this business and the opportunity, then of course you want to look at the packs. Now the beautiful thing about this is there's a really low startup cost to have your own business. I know even a traditional business, you would be investing way more than this in order just to make a PTY Ltd or a company or to form that. What you get inside of the business pack is a significant amount of discounted product. So what you pay, you actually get more value in product back. But in addition to that, you also get the support of corporate. You get literally a hands-free experience. When you share this information with people, it ships directly from the company directly to the customer. You are not physically putting your hands on any product at all. There is quality control in place that you don't even have to worry about. So shipping, as I said, is covered. You get your own personal website. You have access to customer service. Advertising and marketing is all done for you, as well as legal and compliance, and the events and promotions. So you get access to everything that's already in place. In addition to that, the Gold Pack will have its own list of products that you receive, and the Platinum Pack will have an increased list of those. And of course, the discount that you get on the products improves when you get to the Platinum Pack. That's your best and most efficient way to purchase these products. So imagine if you said yes. Fast forward a few years from now, and how different would your life be? What difference would additional income make, not just to your family now, but for generations to come? Because in this business, we're building an income generating asset which can be willed down for generations and generations and generations. It is super, super exciting. So I am so happy to have been able to spend some time with you guys. Please get back to the person who invited you onto this webinar this evening for more information on how you can build your Lifevantage business. Or alternatively, I'll pop my contact details into the comments section on the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to reach out to me if you have found this by accident yourself. And that way we can work together and we can find out how this could be a good fit for you and for your family. Thank you.